In this video, I'm going to describe what Las Vegas feels like to someone with hypersensitivity. Is there a point where the mind breaks because there's just too much to see, hear, smell, touch, and taste? Human brains can only process so much input without consequences. Some of us have lower sensory thresholds than normal. We're not always in sensory overload, but there's a near perpetual panic. It feels like we're always on the verge of shutdown, one stimulus away from inner crisis. That's called hypersensitivity. The same jolts that other people feel as pleasure hit us as stress. You might wonder how someone with hypersensitivity can walk through a casino. It's not pain exactly, it burns, like holding your breath as you swim against the current under the ice of a river. And every second you hold your breath, you feel your energy draining out. You are a battery that's depleting, overheated by the demands placed on your distressed sensory system. All these lights, sounds, smells, the brighter they glow, the more energy it sucks out of you. I try to imagine what it would feel like to be normal, the kind of person for who this place would deliver a steady flow of pleasure. They crave more color, more light, more sound, smell, and flavor. That's why they come here, isn't it? To have everything turned up to 11? My theory is that these people, the ones who love Las Vegas, live their lives in a state of limited sensation. They come here to feel something. Their normal is that everything is gray, ordinary, something they enjoy escaping, because for them, the extreme stimuli register as pleasure, not danger. So they come to Vegas to feel something in the parts of themselves that have gone numb through the routine of ordinary life. But that's just a guess. It's hard to put yourself in another person's skin. So no, Vegas is not for people with sensory issues. You don't look forward to Las Vegas if you're the type of person who avoids crowds. There's smoke and perfume, flashing lights, loud sounds, unavoidable physical contact with strangers, and open invitations to be touched by beautiful people. And it all gets reflected and magnified by mirrors, screens, and chrome plating. There's no escape, only hallways and sidewalks that push you to different variations of sensory overload. But Las Vegas isn't impossible with hypersensitivity. Here's what works for me. Noise-canceling headphones, calm, familiar music. Comfortable clothing is important. Dress for comfort. As a kid, I couldn't wear socks. The feeling of cloth on my feet threw me into panic. Typically, my wardrobe avoids color. My preference is gray. I can't stand labels. I prefer clothes without logos or words. I don't wear rings. I could barely wear a watch. I have sunglasses, but barely wear them. The feeling on my nose is worse than the light blocking benefit. It also helps to walk without a destination or time limit, because the destination is stress, so I wander. I remind myself that in Las Vegas, you are invisible. Nobody cares. One of the benefits of Vegas is that I can pretend to be a tourist. Nobody cares that you're holding a camera. AirPods are the norm. As I walk the strip, I navigate the triggers. I spot the group with cigars and steer clear. A smelly, fragrant shop, I take a deep breath and keep walking. November is perfect for Las Vegas. Not too hot, cool enough for a soft jacket. I turn up my collar, trying to expose as little skin as possible. There is a paper napkin in my pocket. I squeeze it in my hand subconsciously. Something about the pressure, its inherent cleaning properties. It soothes me, distracts my system from the other competing stimuli. This might seem counterintuitive, but inebriation makes it worse, because after a beer, the mental controls that you've been trying to hold on to lose their grip. For me, it is better to be alert and slightly panicky than to be dulled out of control. I don't smoke. Nicotine comes with unbearable odors. Stimulants? Is more stimulation really a good idea? Coffee is welcome, but I wouldn't risk anything more stimulating than caffeine. Strolling down the strip may not seem like an achievement, but with the backdrop of a lifetime of sensory overload, it can feel like a milestone. Heck, just having words for this and an audience that wants to understand is healing. There weren't hypersensitivity diagnoses in the 80s. The hyperactive kids got the drugs, and the rest of us were told to toughen up, suck it up. What's wrong with you? Act like a man. But you figure it out eventually. Through trial and error, you learn how to pretend, how to cope, and you do toughen up. Eventually, you get better at pretending to like hugs, handshakes, small talk, birthday parties, restaurants, all the parts of normal life that involve touch, sound, and heightened stimulus. Hypersensitivity is torture as a child, but if you survive to adulthood, you've learned to cope. You might be so good at masking it that nobody knows your secret, but the byproducts of your flight, fight, freeze responses slip out, and it adds up. Flight means you skip social activities, but you can only skip so many parties before you get labeled as antisocial. Freeze means you tend to shut down in groups, causing people to label you as shy. Fight means you have harsh mood swings. People tiptoe around you because they can't see the pattern to what sets you off. Maybe hypersensitivity sounds like a curse, but it has its advantages too. I don't have to go to Las Vegas to feel excitement. In places where most people find boredom, I find worlds that I can get lost in. I see beauty where others struggle to see anything. I hear things that other people miss, the words that people can't say out loud, but they reveal in their tone and nonverbal clues. And I don't think I would be an artist if I weren't wired this way. For better or worse, it has shaped how I see, hear, and feel my world. After the barrage of stimulus, I retreat to the hotel to wind down. I find an empty pool. Few people swim when there are so many alternatives to choose from, so I have the place to myself. The water is body temperature. I fill my lungs with air and float, weightless. Underwater, all the sounds of the city blur into white noise. Immersed in this makeshift sensory deprivation chamber, I feel myself coming back to life. Thanks for watching. I continue to experiment with a format for my videos that works on YouTube. If you enjoyed this one, your likes and subscriptions really help. I feel them. And if you are someone who relates to my description of hypersensitivity, I'd love to hear your story. I'm trying to gauge the interest on this topic, even considering writing a book. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, don't be shy with the like button. Until next time, stay creative.